First thing and foremost, I want to give all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh, Ba'ashim, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashim, Rakakwadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders, a great millstone that rule well. Blessings and salutations be to the hopeful elect, noise in this gospel abroad, living up to the standard of Yahweh, Ba'ashim, Yahweh Shai, wherever they may be. This is a lesson through the spirit. This is another lesson here from ones that can see. It says the evolution into the mark of the beast, digital ID. Amazon now doing PayPal scan for medical checks. And as we edge forward to this fourth industrial revolution, is digital technocracy. These companies are gearing up to start pushing this MOTB because I didn't really have a chance to look at the video. Well, actually, I take that back. I caught maybe 5 minutes of this video. I watched maybe like an hour and a half ago. Kind of, sort of. Because Jake was at this training thing all day. But I caught some of this video, and it was basically stating how Trump is basically coming together to do away with the dollar, man. Like all these tariffs and stuff he's putting on nations and these alleged beefs he's having with his allies in Europe. That's all a ploy to turn the people against the system, so therefore they can go and push the digital mark under emergency executive orders, man. Because see, like with this trade war, they're making it seem like they're vouching for the Americans and that they have America's best interest, but that's clearly not the case, as we clearly see that the so-called white man, which is the biblical Idumeans, are moving forward to this MOTB systems. But yet you got Hebrew Israelites out there that can't see this prophecy, or they don't want to see it, because either they sold out or ultimately the spirit is just not dealing with these guys, man. All right, you got basic regular podcasters, Christians, you got men that commentate on certain things regarding world events, you know, like banking crisis and, you know, particular economic trends, and they see it clear as day, and we see it clear as day. But for whatever reason, you got Jake out there that can't seem to want to hop on board with this prophecy, man. And the only conclusion I can get, two conclusions, that they don't want this place to fall, and also they don't want this place to fall, and they probably sold out and took a purse and was told to not teach this prophecy, man. Because how in the hell you call yourself a man of the Lord and a prophet, but you can't see one of the most important prophecies in the Bible that's getting ready to come to pass, that's going to be contingent whether you get out of here or not, based on your salvation? You know, I'm still trying to wrap my hand around that one. But, you know, when you deal in the world of wickedness with Jake, can't put nothing past him, all right? So this is a 24-minute video, and I'm not going to play it all. I may try to interject here and there. But, I mean, basically at this point, I don't even have to say anything else, because he's going to explain pretty much everything that I'm explaining by giving extrinsic details on what the hell we need to know. Okay, just the fact that it says digital ID, Amazon now doing scan for medical checks. Like, since when do Amazon deal with medical shit is what I'm trying to figure out, because I thought Amazon was just dealing with you know, of course you got what is it, Amazon is Prime, but you got Whole Foods and stuff like that that's associated with them. I think they have like contracts with Amazon to push certain products and all that other stuff, you know, because they have what they call not necessarily smart lockers, but smart lockers that in case, you know, you want a package delivered from Amazon, you can take it to like a Save-A-Lot or Whole Foods, and some UPSs or FedEx stores got these smart lockers that you can retrieve your package from. Okay, I remember when they was talking about the Amazon to Go years ago, you know, when basically you could just walk through the store and get what you get, and they're deducted from your account virtually, because there was really no tellers, you know. Now you have what they call Amazon Smart, when basically you can put the stuff in the buggy, and the buggy will compute the amount of goods you got, and then, you know, it's paid for through your, could be soon to be your chip, or it could be paid for online through your purchase or through your app, man. Okay, so if you can't see that we're entering the mark of the beast system, then the Spirit of the Lord is just not with you. And I say that with extreme confidence, all right? So I got one precept. Actually, I got two precepts on deck, because, I mean, it's not really a whole lot of precepts you need to go into to prove this. But for prophecy's sake, you know, I pull those precepts. But let me play a couple of minutes of this video, and we'll get the precepts. So here we go.
That can see. Welcome everybody to today's show. Amazon is bringing their palm scanning technology to health facilities. And for anybody out there that doesn't know about Amazon's palm payment, they have been rolling this out at locations like Whole Foods, where people can use biometrics to exit the store with their products. So they can make a purchase without handing over cash, without handing over a credit card. And all they have to do is have their palm scanned, their genetics scanned. This is biometrics. We've even seen some retailers out there doing this now with retina scan.
When you go on bio or biology or bio, you know what I'm saying, body and metrics, which metrics goes into like measurements or like money or data. Okay, we got some every month, which is called a metric report. We have to submit every end of the month for our data that we collect on what we do, okay, which they call it a metric report. All right, so it's the same concept here, you know. So biometrics, man, biology, okay, because this is a technology they want to place underneath the skin, and everybody and their mother is talking about this, and this is why they're currently building up 15-minute smart cities, you know, to finally fulfill their new world order plan, man. Okay, because you got guys out there that say that GMS and people that think we're teaching our likewise doctrine, they call us conspiracy nuts, conspiracy theorists. They call us, you know, all types of fear mongering. You know, they say all manners of wickedness about us because we're just bringing out what the Bible says, man. But see, like the apostles always say, what happens when you're faced with this reality of getting this MOTB and the fact that you've scoffed so long about this prophetic, the prophecies of the scriptures? What are your followers going to do when they depend on you to give them a proper answer, man? And this is why the scriptures say that, roughly paraphrasing it, that the prophet should not divine anymore, roughly paraphrasing it. Okay, because hey, you're going to go to these leaders, your so-called leaders, and they're not going to know what to tell you because a lot of them ain't going to be nowhere to be found. Okay, prime example, you got Gorilla Hebrew, okay, which basically stepped down. He said, all praises, I'm gone. I mean, he just totally bailed. Like in this case, that was his best thing to do. But you're going to have a lot of Israelite leaders out here that's going to give you that same account of bailing out on you when this shit hit the fan, because they don't want to be responsible for you being destroyed. But like it tells us in Ezekiel, it tells us that we're supposed to warn the children of Israel, and if you don't warn them, then the blood is on your hand, man. All right, so here we go.
Able to go up to the cashier and have their eyeballs scanned as a way of payment. This is what we're headed towards, and I'm talking about this now when it comes to the health facilities, because we know about Amazon having the ability and using this technology at stores. That's not new news. But what is new news is hearing that now you could go to the doctor's office and instead of getting out a credit card, instead of getting out your health insurance card, instead of getting out your license and letting them scan your license, now you could just have your palm scanned, and all that information will go directly to the interface that the doctor's office is using. And this is a big deal because this is more preparation for a digital ID. And when you hear about the digital ID is not physical, obviously, it's digital. And it might start off as something where it's just a picture of your license on your cell phone screen, but eventually this is all embedded in you, just like the same way.
Right. Now that's the whole concept of the smartphones, the smartwatches, you know, the Apple Watches, the Fitbits, the cell phones, you know, all this technology is capable, or the chip will have all the technology that's capable of these phones, man. And it's going to be based through this AI algorithm based program, okay? Because it's more than just a chip. The chip is going to be basically the brain of this whole interface that they're setting up in the skies, man. And this is why everything is going digital. You know, it's bigger than just one chip. It's a system that the chip will be the main culprit as to how these systems will work. So basically they were saying like by 2030, you ain't gonna need a cell phone. Okay, you will be the cell phone, because basically under the skin surveillance, this is the account of what they want to do, you know. And this is how you know we getting ready to get up out of here. This is how you know that we're at the end of this thing, because this is being talked about. Okay, and it was being talked about 15, 20 years ago. But now we're that much more closer. You know? But you got IUIC, yeah, we gonna name them by name, that's basically still scoffing at the prophecy, man. Like, oh, Christianity and embargo. You know, they came up with a couple of different breakdowns on what they take on a mark is. For example, it being sin. Okay, well, if it's sin, then how can you buy and sell? What is the buying and aspect of sin if you can break that down? And this is the answer that we've never gotten from these other groups, man. Okay? I think Zabak teaches against it. Nate teaches against it. Johanna teaches against it. What's the other guy's name? Naquam from Wi-Fi. They all teach against this prophecy. But last time I pushed HODC, they teach the chip is the R. Well, they don't teach it, but they know it. They pushed it. They don't really push it. Sakari knows, okay, and Genesis knows. And they know because the leadership of those groups come out of Great Millstone. So they kept pretty much all the breakdowns, you know what I'm saying? So other camps out there, they need to get on board with this, man, because, hey, your followers are going to be asking questions, man. And then when push come to shove, because you're not being a righteous shepherd over the flock, then people are going to start scrambling, man. People are going to get afraid. People are going to get paranoid because they're going to be conflicted between, okay, man, I got my family, I got a newborn. If I don't get the mark of the beast or the chip, then how the hell are my babies going to eat? So something is going to click in their mind like, well, GMS was saying don't take it. But my leader, whom I've been following for the last 8 years, said that it's okay to take it. So they're going to psych themselves out mentally to take it to be justified, and they're going to get a missile. All right?
You would check out at a store with the Amazon Palm payment, you will be walking in and out of stores, and your body will be scanned because this is going to be embedded in your genetic code. So for people that don't know, the digital ID has everything in it. It is a comprehensive digital identity stored on a device like a smartphone, encompassing all personal identification details such as driver's license information, passport details, medical records, banking information, voting registration, and potentially even biometric data, allowing a user to verify their identity across various online and offline services with a single digital credential, often managed through a secure digital wallet app. Keep in mind.
Yep, and that's just what it is. All in a selling of convenience. Oh, well, that's convenient. Because the average person, the only thing they think about is what's convenient for them, you know? So this is the reason why they psych you out with credit cards. They've gotten people in the mindset of not using cash anymore, man. All right? And when you don't use cash, you become accustomed to it. It's called, what is it called? What is it now? It's another word, not desensitizing, that's one thing. But not predictive programming, but conditioning, okay? Desensitizing, there you go. So now the average person, like, you know, I had some cash on me the other day, and part of me like, you know what, I need to keep this cash on me, you know, but I haven't walked around with cash in a long time, you know? So I was like, let me go ahead and put this shit in the bank, so therefore I don't have to worry about it, because I know if I got cash on hand, you know what I'm saying, I might end up spending it or whatever, but I just felt more secure putting it in a bank, which reality is really nothing secure about putting your money in a bank. I should have just kept the cash, but you know, you get used to seeing a number in your bank account, and if it's not at that number, it kind of fucks with you, you know, if people know what I'm saying, which that's a habit, you know, we need to break, because honestly speaking, I need to really get all the cash out the bank and, you know, and just have it on hand, you know, because even when it collapse, they say cash is king, reverting things over to precious metals and all that other stuff, even though the money and silver and gold won't save us in that day, but you will be able to barter with certain things for a short amount of time before everything just totally shut the fuck down, you know what I'm saying? So definitely. But anyway, let me get a precept, Daniel 12, and I'm gonna start at verses 4, and it says, but thou, O Daniel, shut up the words and seal the book even to the time of the end, and many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall be increased. All right, to and fro. All right, people getting this information from one side of the world to the next through what? The www. The World Wide Web. Okay, and it says that many people should run to and fro, and knowledge should be increased. And this is how we got whiff of this information because the truth has spring forth, man. Okay? The truth has gone forth through the likings of the internet, aka the unicorn, according to Psalms the 19th chapter. You know? So we close, brothers. We close, man. All right? Any day now, this system is gonna collapse, and they're gonna operate this thing, man.
Fine. That mentioned right there, a device like a smartphone. The transition from the smartphone to the brain-computer interface, right? Elon Musk, Nokia, Apple, these big corporations are already talking about how smartphones are going to become obsolete, and brain-computer interfaces like Neuralink are the way forward. So think about that. When they say smartphones are going to be obsolete, obviously, they're not saying that everybody's going to throw out their phone and we're going to go back and live like we're on Little House on the Prairie, unfortunately, because that's really the way to save humanity, would be to go backwards at this point, not forwards. But if the phone's going to be obsolete, people need to realize that what a brain-computer interface is, and this is technology inside of your body, and it comes via editing your genetics. So I'm covering this because now we're seeing a transition from Amazon Palm Pay to Amazon Palm scanning technology to bring up your personal information, your health information. This is a big deal. This is the beginning of getting people used to biometric data, using biometrics to have their personal information stored and then accessed, and then going from just even having Palm payments to make a purchase to Palm payments to bring up personal information like your medical records. And for anyone out there that's confused, maybe you're new to this, I don't expect everybody to know all the things that I've discussed over the years. This is what the Amazon Palm payment looks like for anybody out there that's not familiar. And this technology is already out there, and it's been out there for a few years, and it's used at places like...
Yep, this has been out for a couple of years. I think I did a lesson on this maybe 2 years ago, back in 2023, maybe 22. You know, I've done a couple of lessons on this, man, because, you know, we push it. Okay, scripture say, then thou shalt know that a prophet had been among them. So we're commanded to teach these things because Revelation 19:10 tells us that the spirit of Yahweh Shai is the spirit of what? Prophecy. Okay.
Whole Foods.
Meet Amazon One, the fast, convenient, contactless identity service that lets you enter, identify, and pay using only your palm. Signing up is simple. Sign in with your Amazon account and create your free profile. Take a photo of your palm, or both palms. Then visit any Amazon One device to enter, identify, or pay with your palm, and we'll activate your profile. Get started today.
If you don't have your wallet, there's no problem. Just scan your palm to pay.
Amazon One is a payment system that has been tested at several stores around the Bay Area, and now it may be coming to a grocery store near you.
Ground Force Justin Campbell has more on how it works and the privacy concerns.
Just show your palm real quick. We may scan it.
I hope you don't use that.
The idea of using your palm to pay doesn't feel right for this Whole Foods customer, but others like the idea.
I don't know who else can get into my palm, really, but I'm not really against it.
The technology coming to the Bay Area.
And people gonna take this shit, man. They gonna take it because these people are stupid. You know, they're stupid. And they're fucking just, they just believe anything that this devil tells them. And this is why a lot of these people are going to be just straight up destroyed. And deservingly so. In a training class today, we was talking about, well, it was me and maybe two co-workers. And she was asking, she said, I think AI is going to take all our jobs. And then you had this one bonehead dude that kept saying, well, they ain't going to take all the jobs. And the common sense will tell you AI is not going to take all the jobs. But AI will have a major role into the systems that's ahead, all right, because they're downsizing on a lot of tech companies and stuff like that. And Gates said it. He said 90% of the jobs can be taken by AI, but that'll work against it because you're still going to need human interaction and human reasoning, because with computers there's always room for error. You see what I'm saying? So people got to take that into account. But overall, this will be a digital interface, not interfaced. Interface. All right.
Whole Food stores over the next few weeks works like this. Amazon says no two palms are alike. They use vision technology. You hold your hand above the device, which scans and takes less than a minute to create a palm signature. Your palm is connected to your credit card online, so whenever you want to pay, all you have to do is hover your palm.
Too intense. It's a little crazy.
This customer is worried about privacy.
I think using your DNA and stuff is just too much to give out.
There's a lot of different variables that need to be considered.
Ralph Aceves with Hacker Strike says in general the technology is safe, but he does have concerns.
The data that is being downloaded from the cloud to be able to know who you are based on your palm stored on the device.
Amazon says palm images are not stored on the device. The images are encrypted and sent to the cloud. Aceves' other concern is phishing.
For example, at a grocery store, there's no one around, and someone could potentially replace that scanning device with a fake scanning device, just like they do today with credit card readers, right?
Aceves says he believes the technology is the future because it's convenient for consumers.
Not my palm? Jeez, come on.
Reporting in San Jose, Justin Campbell, Cron 4 News.
So that's what they tell you.
So there you go. All right. Another precept, and I'll end it, but I'll let the video play a couple more minutes. That way, Jay can get the meat off that bone, because this is a damn good video. All right. So this is the book of Revelation 14, and this scripture was actually brought out yesterday. So we can go into it again, because a lot of these same precepts will be brought out, because that's just what it is. All right, a lot of the same precepts will be brought out. So this is the book of Revelation 19 and 9. Not 19, but 14 and 9. And it says, and there followed the third angel, following them, saying, a loud voice, of any man worship the beast and his image, and receive it of his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same should drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High, which is poured out without mixture to the cup of his indignation, which is those missiles, and shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and the presence of the Lamb. All right. So with that, all praises and glory, honor that's due to Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Lord's will, you will edify. To the next lesson. Shalom.
The future of payments are. But what they're not getting out there yet is they're not informing you that this is the future of everything. The future of everything, what I believe is the mark of the beast, because all of this information is going to be embedded inside of your body via technology. The technology is going to move from being in your hand and on your wrist to being underneath your skin. In Revelation chapter 13, verses 16 through 17, and he caused all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. And think about if all payments turn to biometrics, right? Because think about how right now they're forcing you to do all these things on your smartphone. When you go to the airport, they expect you to pull up a QR code on your phone, right? Well, eventually you are the QR code. Because think about it. When they're saying, well, you got to go to the airport, we're not going to give you a physical ticket anymore. It's bad for the environment. It takes too long. Bring it up on your phone. We expect everybody to have a smartphone by now. And if you don't, well, I guess you can't fly, right? Pretty much that's what they're forcing people into. We're that really getting as close as possible to them removing, printing out boarding passes, okay? So when you're at that point where you say, well, I got to go to the airport, I have my boarding pass on my phone, it becomes normal. They've gotten people conditioned into that, right? Well, then they're telling you that the phone's going to be obsolete. So if the phone's obsolete, and these methods of payment, these methods of boarding passes, all these things that you see now that you do with your phone, even going to a restaurant, they make you scan a QR code to bring up the menu on your phone. Well, if the phone is gone, like Elon Musk and all these people say, where are you going to do all this stuff? Are we going to go?
Here are two physicians that both made $1 million, but this person paid $289,000 in taxes, and this one paid 0% in income taxes. Here's the difference. This person listened to his CPA and he stayed as an LLC. This person decided to transition over to an S corporation after hiring a tax strategist. This person over here decided to max out their 401k after listening to their CPA. This person over here decided to invest in a short-term rental and performed a cost segregation study that created the loss on the tax returns. This person over here took the home office deduction information after listening to their CPA. This person over here decided to implement the Augusta rule, where they rented their house to their business and maximized their tax savings. What was the difference? This person decided to hire a tax strategist to help them do tax planning strategies versus just list.
Backwards then? Are we going to get rid of the phone, have paper menus again? Are we going to have boarding? No, of course not. Because biometrics and the mark of the beast tie in with one another. And anyone out there that says there are people who have already received the mark, I understand what you're thinking because you're close to the truth, or at least what I believe to be the truth. You have every right to disagree with me. But last I checked, when they rolled out that vaccine a couple of years ago, a lot of us didn't take it, including myself, of course. And I can still buy and sell very easily. But the tie-in, of course, with that experiment is how many people were willing to go and get it. And of course, there are people who have this type of technology already inside of their bodies, but they haven't made it yet so that you'd have to be able to have that in order to buy or sell. Well, if we transition all of this stuff and they get rid of cash and then they get rid of a phone, how do you expect to go to a store and make a purchase when there's nobody at a cashier desk anymore? And you just walk in and walk out freely, but it's all inside of you. Your ID is inside of you, your medical records. All of this stuff is embedded in you. That's what people don't seem to understand. When you hear them talking about gene editing, this is what they're talking about. They're talking about editing you, and they're going to edit this into your body, okay? So think about it from the standpoint of blockchain. For anyone out there that doesn't know how blockchain works, blockchain is a distributed database that stores information in blocks. Blockchain tech is used to store and authenticate data, and it has many applications involved in it. Bitcoin being one of them. Bitcoin operates on blockchain. So if blockchain is storing all of these things inside of it, one of which would be cryptocurrency, which would be digital payment. In addition to that, it'll be storing your medical records. In addition to that, it'll be storing your banking information. Blockchain-based systems can enable individuals to update their digital identities or financial accounts directly through Neuralink's brain-computer interface, while Starlink provides the infrastructure for instant and secure global access. So the technology is inside of you, the Starlink is around you, you are connected to the Internet of Bodies. And BlackRock also has neurotech. We have Neuralink, we have Synchron. There's a bunch of companies who are already doing this, and these companies are the ones who are developing the brain-computer interface that'll eventually be in you. This database that they're talking about is you. And remember how they market blockchain to people. It can't be corrupted. It's decentralized, enhanced security, distributed ledgers, faster, quicker, safer. This is how eventually this will be marketed. And I've covered this in detail before. Don't forget the articles that were out there. The plan to put Bitcoin in mouse DNA with a genetically engineered virus. Well, we all remember a genetically engineered virus, but do people out there understand what this means? Putting Bitcoin in DNA, they don't seem to understand what that even means. It means digital currency inside of the mouse. And guess what? They're not running these experiments because there's a future world where Mickey Mouse and all these mice are going to be running around making payments digitally with biometrics, right? This, of course, is for all of us. The plan to put Bitcoin and all of these things inside of you, and it'll all be through gene editing, the thing you keep hearing about, gene editing. So let me play for you some clips so you can try to piece this together. Maybe it'll help you more about why they're so hell-bent on a digital ID and what the digital ID really means. It really means getting inside of your body. And it's more than just a microchip. It's more than just nanotech. It's changing your genetic code, which changes you. It changes what it means to be human. God gave you your own specific DNA. I have mine, you have yours. I often use the comparison to these crime shows or these crime stories you hear where there's cold cases and it gets solved 50 years later. because of DNA. They can find this guy a needle in a haystack, right? Some guy who wasn't even a suspect's been arrested. They found his DNA, and now, of course, they have this DNA technology where they could trace the DNA, and of course, it's a 100% match, right? It's gotta be this guy. There's no evidence that proves that he was there, that he did it, or blood on his clothes, or was no, it doesn't matter. The DNA is the only evidence because he has his own unique, specific DNA, and that's what they want to alter. God gave us unique DNA to ourselves, all individually, made us all individuals, and they want to turn us, of course, into iron mixed with clay. They want to turn us. Elon Musk said it himself. Creating a neural lace is the thing that really matters for humanity to achieve symbiosis with machines.